Today we're going to talk about real estate in Paraguay.
Yeah,
A
real
lot,
estate in Asunción.
Asunción especially, because you can also buy in other cities in the country, but it's another story.
Yeah,
Every city is different, and buying in the country it's also really different. So
Yep.
maybe we will talk about it later, but
yeah,
right now we will focus about Asunción.
yep.
So basically, right now Asunción is growing a lot,
Yeah,
and
lots of building.
if you walk in the city, in the new center, that's how we call it, you will see every street with a new building.
Yeah,
And-
if you go, for example, behind Shopping del Sol,
Mhm.
it's full of buildings in construction.
Yes, in the neighborhood which is called Las Lomas,
Exactly. Yeah,
and also next to the shopping center Mariscal,
yeah.
it's also really growing.
There is three main area: Paso La Galeria, Shopping del Sol, and Shopping Mariscal.
Mhm.
There's the three shopping mall in Asunción, the most well known,
Yes,
and
and usually when people come to Paraguay, they always want to find accommodation next to this place.
yeah,
So that's why there is more demand on this area, because it's like with a nice restaurant, with the shopping mall. And
shops, everything. Yeah,
I mean, if you live here all year, it may not be the best place to stay. But if you come for 1 month, it's
or just 1 week. People are coming here to invest, to do their residency. They just stay here for a few weeks. It's way better to
Mhm.
stay nearby those shopping malls.
yes. So right now it's growing a lot. There are a lot of companies doing projects.
Mhm.
So we will first talk. There are 3 different kinds of projects.
Yeah,
The first thing possible is to buy off plan.
yeah,
The second way is to buy an apartment with a building already in the process,
yeah. In construction.
in construction. And the third way is to buy something which is already done, already finished. So
Yeah,
we will tell you, we will start with things already done, and we will explain you more or less the prices, the pros, the cons,
yeah,
and a bit of everything about that. So when you buy something which is finished, the first thing you need to understand is that the price will obviously be higher, because like in any real estate business, the companies start selling off plan, a lot of investors come, and then they want to take their benefit. So if you buy something finished, the people, they will sell it 20% or 30% more than what they bought originally,
yeah,
and they will not be ready to negotiate. They don't want to negotiate because it was an investment, which is different if you buy, for example, in Europe. Sometimes you can have an apartment which has been in the family for 20, 30 years. Someone died recently, someone passed away, and the children, they want to sell the apartment. So it's easier to negotiate in Europe. Here, there is only new building in the new center, so there is no negotiation margin, more or less.
Yeah.
It's like this.
It's more difficult to negotiate on the price of the apartment.
So why would it be interesting for someone wanting to buy something already done?
Someone who wants to move here in Paraguay and wants his apartment to live with his family,
Yeah.
those kind of people, they would like to buy apartment ready right away. As well for people who wants to put their apartment in Airbnb and they want rent and they want money right away.
Mm-hmm.
Same, you
Yes.
can buy an apartment already done, put it in Airbnb and make money right away.
Yes. So basically, I mean, for me, it's not the best investment, but it depends on the situation. If you have a lot of capital, you want to put it somewhere, you can rent it right away, and you can every month get income. So it's a good idea.
Yeah,
If you are with your family and you want a place to live, or even if you are alone and
yeah,
you
even
don't
if you're alone,
you
yeah.
don't want to spend in rent, it may be a good idea.
Yeah,
But if your idea is to invest in something and make the maximum profit possible, for us, I think investing in other kind of project would be more
Yeah,
interesting.
it depends on what is your goals. But for those people that we say, it's a great idea as well to buy directly ready. That's
It's-
not that's because it's not our goals for us,
Mhm.
but for those people, it's perfect.
Also, one thing interesting when you buy something already done is that you can see how is going the project, because sometimes you
You can
may
see the details.
you can see the details. Also, sometimes I heard some stories here in Paraguay. I have to say it's not common, but it can happen. But like in any country, some people they bought something off plan, and the project never ended. So for someone who is scared about this kind of things, of course, buying something finished is way better
Yeah.
because you don't have to worry. You buy something that is already existing.
Yeah.
So this is one thing. Also, the other thing, when you buy off plan, maybe the company is serious, but sometimes there always can be a problem, and you may never see the end of your project, or you may have a lot of problem, or you may have a lot of delays. So this is the main reason why some people they just wanting for finished projects.
Yeah, something ready. Yeah.
But as I said, you don't have to be too worried. Most of the companies are serious. I would recommend working only with Paraguayan companies, because if you work with a company from outside and the people they disappear,
They don't care. That's why when you buy real estate here in Paraguay, don't do it by yourself without knowing anyone, just seeing an advertising on Facebook and say, oh, this project looks cool, I'm gonna buy it. Ask people. We are here. If you want, we can help you, or ask others people, but people who are living actually here in Asunción, Paraguay, who can help you, who knows the market, who knows the constructor, who knows the company here that's working very well or not. But don't buy by yourself just by seeing an ad on Facebook, please.
yes, it can be. We don't say you're gonna get scammed, but
No.
there is always a small risk.
There is also a small risk. It can in Paraguay, in France, in every country there is a small risk.
You need to know who you are investing with, and the thing is, Paraguay is a small country. So how does it work here? I mean, there are a lot of big names, big families that have a lot of money that almost control the country sometimes, and this family they have a lot of companies, they build a lot of buildings, and if you invest with these companies, basically
You are
nothing
sure to don't
nothing
have
will
any
happen
trouble.
because they are serious people.
It's
They have
their reputation.
their reputation, so that's the most important thing, I guess, when you invest here.
Yeah, so we've talked about building already finished. So let's talk about off-plan because we were talking about right now.
Mhm.
Who are the people who want to buy off-plan?
So the good thing about off-plan is that you can get the best return on investment, because you have to wait 2 years to get your apartment. Usually it's about 2 years, but after 2 years you can rent it, and we will talk about numbers right now. So maybe for small apartment like 30 square meter in a new project, it can be around $50,000 in the good areas.
Yeah.
So I mean it's pretty cheap. And then right now, if you want to rent a place, it can be between $35 and $40. It can be up to 60 sometimes,
Up to 60.
depending on the zone and depending on if you're
On what you offer on your Airbnb. Let's talk about Airbnb right now. For the price, you have an apartment, 30 meters. You're gonna put it on an Airbnb. Average, you're gonna rent it for €40 a day.
$40, something like this.
$40 a day, yeah.
So I mean, I don't have the table to calculate the percentage in front of me, but if $50,000 for 40 per night, it's a really good return.
Yeah, it's really good return because approximately when people want to rent an Airbnb for a month, it's around $1,000 per month.
Yes, something like this. Some people were saying that Paraguay, there is no tourists, it's difficult to rent. It's not that true, because if you select a project which is close to the shopping, like we said before, you will be able to rent without any problem.
Yeah, sure. And there is no tourists, but there is a lot of foreigner people who are coming to Paraguay. First of all, to get their residency card. And there is around 100 and 150 demands per day.
Hmm.
So it means that every day people are coming in Paraguay to do their residency card.
Yes.
So that's as well one
So-
section of
Yeah,
people
more and more people are coming for the residency. There are people that already have the residency. They want to stay. Some of them they stay like 3 months a year in Paraguay, so they will always need a place.
Airbnb.
They always want to be close to the shopping. There are a lot of businessmen also from Argentina and Brazil coming, and these kind of people, they are important executive, and they have money, and they always rent in the nice zone.
Yeah. And all of that, every time it's short time.
Yes, every time is short time. So it's not totally true what people say about it's difficult to rent. It depends where you buy. If you buy in a remote place and you are looking to buy to rent to people who have money, yes, it will be difficult because people who have money they stay in the executive center.
Yeah.
So choosing the zone is really important.
It's very important, and the as well the ads on Airbnb, because many people are saying, yeah, I don't rent my Airbnb and stuff, and you check their ad,
Yeah.
their picture, and it's completely shit.
Yes.
So
So
please make a little effort. Pay someone's gonna come, makes professional photos, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I bought something 6 months ago, and I first lived in it, and now I was looking to rent it, and I made a small comparison of all the ads in my building, and I was like, the photos are horrible, the decoration is horrible, and like if I put an ad with more effort, it will be way easier to rent.
100%.
So what did I do? I paid a designer to decorate all my apartment, to furnish it completely. It cost me $4,000. But okay, it's a lot of money. But in the end, if I have 10% more occupancy, if I can rent $5 or $10 more per night, after 1 year, I already get my money back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not difficult. The competition in Airbnb right now is not really high in Paraguay. The photos are terrible. The decoration is really bad. So there is something to do right now.
100%. And something that we can talk as well about buying off plan, it's the plan payment.
Yeah.
That is something very interesting. The plan payment here, because if you want to buy off plan, for example, let's keep this example of the $50,000 apartment. What you will do? You won't pay $50,000 right away. You will pay 20%.
So the minimum deposit to start buying is 20%.
20%. The $50,000, they will ask you 20%, so you will give 10,000. After that, you can pay the rest of the apartment during the next 30 months. So it's gonna be $1,300 per month during the next 30 months. So it helps, because like that you don't have to pay directly 50,000. You can keep your 50,000, just pay 10,000, and every month 1,300, boom, 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 during 30 months. So it's very nice because you don't have to spend all of your money. You can keep it and see interest.
Yeah,
without
interest. Yes. So that's really interesting. There is also another option that people told me. You can pay 20% at the beginning, 20% at the end, and 30 months in between.
Yeah.
So for a $50,000 apartment, it's like 10,000 beginning, 10,000 at the end, and $1,000 per month.
Yeah.
So I mean, and after 2 years, you already have your apartment ready to rent.
Yeah.
Well, that's really nice.
No, that's something very nice, and that's why as well a lot of people are coming here and buying off plan, because they can get this plan payment.
And I met also a lot of foreign investors that were buying off plan, and after 2 years, they will just resell the apartment for 10 or 15,000 more.
Yeah.
And I mean,
because when you buy off plan, when it's ready, your apartment took already 20% of its value.
Yeah. So you basically, okay, you put your capital there, so it doesn't move, After 2 years, you make 10, 15,000 profit.
And you sell it back.
So that's pretty good. And I met a guy who was doing that every 2 years. He was taking his profit and he was buying a new apartment of plan.
Yeah. Yeah, why
That's
not?
a good way to grow the money.
There's people who's doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't want to rent it, they don't want to manage the people in their apartment. They buy, they sell, they buy, they sell. It's a good strategy as well. Depends on what you're looking for.
So yeah, also the third way, which we didn't talk, is buying in between.
Yeah, like you did.
Like I did. When I bought my apartment, it was missing 2 months. So most of the building was finished.
Almost ready.
It was not. It was only missing to do the decoration, to do the paintings in all the building and everything. So why is it good to do that? Because it's a intermediate way. You have the security of having something almost finished. So
you can see the building, you can see already if it's nice or not.
That's reassuring for sure. And at the same time, you won't pay the full price. So it's also interesting.
Yeah.
For me, for my story, I paid my apartment. So my apartment is 40 square meters, so it's a bit bigger than what we talked about before. I paid my apartment for $65,000. And 2 months after, I could go in and live in it. And the price, the official price, when the building was over, was 72,000. So I basically made a 5,000 profit in 2 months.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And yes, the bad thing about buying outside of off plan is that when you buy later in the process, the only remaining apartments are not the most interesting.
Sure, because
Of course.
all of the best apartments they already have been taken.
Usually the best rentability is on the small apartments, because you can rent short term, and you also pay your apartment depending on the size of the apartment. Like in Asunción, the nice building are $2,000 per square meter. So if your apartment is 40 square meter, you will obviously pay more than one which is 30 square meter.
Yeah, sure.
So the investor here, they always buy the small apartment first.
Yeah.
And if you want a good return, that's what you want to aim at.
Yeah, because you're gonna rent in the same price. An apartment of 30 meters or an apartment of 50, you're gonna rent it approximately the same price on Airbnb.
Yes.
So why you want to buy one of 50?
Exactly. I had a friend who has an apartment which is 1 bedroom, and he pays exactly the same price as the small studio.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, if you check on Airbnb, when you see the pictures, if it's done properly, it's difficult to see how it's exactly. And sometimes you think it's big, but it's because the pictures are taken really well, you know. And you can be mistaken really easily.
Yeah.
So when people rent on Airbnb, they just check if there is a good pool, there is a gym,
Location nearby the shopping.
and does it look nice inside, and does it have nice reviews? That's it.
Yeah.
They can't really see the square meter of the apartment, so it's better to buy small.
Yeah.
It's way better. So that's it about investing for now.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing we forgot?
No, I think we can do another video next time. We can talk about other things, but we've talked about buying off plan, already finished in construction. We've talked about the payment plan.
Maybe we can say a bit more about the prices, because we just said the small example.
Yeah.
So for 1 bedroom, which is usually between 40 to 60 square meter, it's about 70,000 of plan, something like this. And once it's finished, you just add 20 or 30%. So usually 90,
around 90.
Sometimes 100.
Yeah.
But it's already a lot.
It depends if you have a parking.
Also, yeah.
Like how do you say?
Parking spot, yeah.
Yeah, a parking spot, because here the bad point, for me it's a bad point because I don't really understand the price of it, it's gonna be like most of the parking
Spot. Yeah.
spot is around $40,000.
Mhm.
14, 1 4.
If you find a parking slot at 10,000, it is a really good price.
Yeah.
Usually it's between 14 and 16, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So most of the time when you buy a studio, a small one, you don't have any parking spot included. But when you buy a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, most of the time there is a parking spot included. So the price goes up more 10, more 15
yeah.
thousand dollar more on the price because of the parking spot. Yeah.
For me, I could buy one, but I decided not to, because if I want to rent short term, most of the people here, they don't have a
No,
car.
They don't have a car.
So it's like 15,000 wasted
yeah.
that you could use to start investing in a new project.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, 100%.
it doesn't make sense. So yeah, basically.
But for the people who maybe don't want to do short term because they don't want to manage it, or they just want to buy an apartment and use it as a long term rental,
Yeah.
they will need a parking spot
Yes,
to rent it.
of course. So,
1 bedroom parking spot, the rentability is less, but
I mean,
there is someone all year long. You don't have to do anything.
the rentability is lower, but technically you have less work also.
Yeah.
You have less problems,
Yeah.
and you don't have permanently to find new people.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can always give the renting part to another company, but in the end, you will have problems. And
It depends what you're looking for. Yeah.
I mean,
you cannot you cannot have the best rentability and the less management. It's always like the high
It's a balance.
rentability, high management, the low rentability, low management.
Exactly, it's always a balance. And so for the 1 bedroom, it's like 70, 80, something like
Yeah.
this. And you can also find apartment with 2 bedrooms.
Yeah. More
So
than, it's gonna be $120.
yeah, it can.
Then-
I saw some of them as until 160. It really
Yeah.
depends. Some of them are really big, but for investing purposes, it's probably not the best to have a family. Okay, why not?
Yeah.
Some people also they invest in apartments for them because they want to live here in Asunción for 2-3 months, and the rest of the year when they are not here, they just give it for rent.
Yeah.
So it's a good alternative. You can have a place for you here, and when you're not here, money is coming in.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah, sure. Next time we're gonna do a podcast about buying houses, maybe.
See?
Let's do it in another podcast, right?
Yeah, we can.
For people who wants to hear as well podcast about buying houses in Paraguay, because we're gonna talk about Asunción, but we're gonna talk as well about the countryside.
Mhm.
Subscribe to the channel and wait. In the next few weeks, it's gonna coming up.
Yep. And if you have any question about real estate, points that we didn't talk about,
Yeah.
feel free to write any question in the commentary. It will also help us to make better content for you. And
Yeah, if you need any information about getting your residency or buying real estate, you can go in the description and book a call with us.
And we also have our office here in Asunción, so
Yeah.
you can always come and visit us.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
It
See
was-
you.
See you.